The night was endless. The sky was heavy with black clouds. Snow fell like sharp needles, cutting the skin and burning the breath. The human soldier lay half buried under the broken wing of his ship. His body shook, his hands numb, and his eyes red from the cold. He did not remember how long he had been there. Minutes felt like hours, and hours felt like days. The storm never stopped. The wind screamed like a beast in pain. He pressed a weak hand against the cracked glass of his helmet, trying to wipe away the frost, but the frost came back again and again. It was a frozen prison, a night without end. He forced himself to move. The snow was thick. Every step felt like drowning. Behind him, the broken ship was silent. Fire long dead. The radio was broken, no signal, no rescue, no human voice. Only the endless howl of the storm. He tried to remember the others. His team, his friends, their faces, but the memory was fading like smoke. He was the last one, the only one still breathing. And even that would not last long. He looked at the horizon. There was nothing, only white and black. Ice, snow, and darkness. His chest burned when he breathed. His fingers stiff like stone, he whispered to himself. I will not die here. But the night laughed. The wind carried his voice away. Then he saw it. Footprints in the snow, not human. Not like his, three-toed sharp edges, light steps. Almost dancing, the tracks were fresh. The storm had not yet buried them. Someone or something was close, his heart beat fast. He followed, step by step, through the storm. The footprints led him to a rise, a sharp hill of ice. He climbed. Hands bleeding on the frozen rock at the top. He looked down and froze in place. There in the white storm, two eyes glowed, silver eyes. Shining like cold fire, they were watching him. Unblinking, waiting, he lifted his weapon, shaking hands aiming at the dark figure. But his finger stopped. The figure did not attack. Did not run. It only stood there. Tall and still, the wind blew back the snow, and for a moment he saw her, not a beast. Not a shadow, but a girl. Her skin pale blue. Her hair white as the storm. She wore no helmet, no human armor. And yet she walked in the deadly cold as if it was nothing. Her silver eyes never left his. His breath caught in his throat. Was she real? Or only the trick of a dying mind? She raised a hand slowly, not in threat but in greeting. The storm grew louder. The ice cracked under his boots. And then, in a voice soft but clear, she whispered his name. His name. The name no alien should know. The soldier felt his blood run cold, colder than the frozen night. He stumbled back, his weapon shaking. How do you know me? He shouted into the storm. But the wind swallowed his words. The alien girl only tilted her head, silver eyes glowing brighter. She pointed behind him. The soldier turned. The snow shifted, the ground trembled. Something massive moved beneath the ice, a shadow darker than the night itself. The ice cracked wider. A deep growl echoed under the frozen ground. The soldier lifted his weapon again, but his hands were weak. The girl stepped closer. Her voice soft and urgent. Come, she said, or you will die here. He could not believe her. He could not trust her, but the ice roared and split. And from the darkness below, the first claw broke through. Long, black, and sharp as a blade. The frozen night was no longer silent. It was alive, and it wanted him dead. The girl's hand reached for his. The soldier looked into those silver eyes, and for the first time since the crash, he felt something strange. Not fear, not pain, but fate. The storm screamed, the ground broke, the beast was coming. The soldier had one choice, stay and die, or take the alien girl's hand. And in that frozen night he made his choice. The storm raged like a living beast. Snow spun in circles, hiding the world in white. The soldier's breath was heavy, his vision blurred. But one thing remained clear, her silver eyes. They glowed through the darkness, guiding him, calling him. Pulling him forward, he had taken her hand. It was colder than ice, yet somehow stronger than steel. Her touch burned into his skin, not with heat, but with strange energy. It was like the storm itself bent around her. Where she stepped, the snow moved away as if afraid. They ran, stumbling across sharp rocks and frozen ground. Behind them, the ice cracked. The monster below was awake. Its roar echoed under the surface. Shaking mountains of snow, the soldier tried to look back. But the girl pulled harder, forcing him forward. At last, they reached a jagged cliff. The girl stopped, lifted her pale hand, and pressed it against the wall of ice. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the ice shifted. Glowing symbols burned blue. A hidden door opened, leading into the darkness of a cave. The soldier hesitated. Every story he knew warned him never trust the unknown. But the storm screamed louder, and the growl of the beast grew closer. He had no choice. He followed her inside. The cave was warm, impossibly warm. The air smelled strange, like burning stone and sweet metal. The walls glowed faintly, carved with lines of light, symbols, pictures, stories frozen into crystal. The girl moved with silent steps, her silver eyes glowing brighter in the dark. The soldier raised his weapon. Though his hands still shook, he tried to speak. His voice broken. "Who are you? What are you?" The girl stopped, turned her head slowly. Her lips moved, forming words in a language he almost understood. But then she spoke again, this time in broken human tongue. "I wait for you," she said. Her voice was soft. Like snow falling on glass, the soldier froze. "You wait, for me?" he asked, his breath shaking. She nodded, her white hair catching the glow of the walls. Her face was not cruel, not beast-like, but calm, almost gentle. Yet her eyes held secrets too deep to read. She walked closer. Her steps made no sound, as if the ground itself feared her. "You are cold," she whispered. From her robe she pulled a small stone. It glowed red, bright and alive like fire trapped in crystal. She placed it in his hands. Warmth rushed into his body, burning away the frost in his blood. His chest stopped hurting, his hand stopped shaking. For the first time since the crash, he could breathe. He stared at the crystal. "What is this?" he asked. The girl tilted her head. "Life," she answered simply. Then her silver eyes turned to the walls of the cave. She touched the glowing symbols, and the cave itself came alive. The walls shifted, showing moving images. Warriors of light and fire, humans and aliens standing together. Battles against beasts of shadow. Storms breaking worlds. The soldier stepped back, his mouth dry. "What is this place?" he whispered. The girl looked at him, her eyes glowing brighter than ever. "Home," she said. "Mine. And now?" "Yours." He shook his head, anger rising. "No. I have my own home, my people, my ship, my world." Her silver eyes softened. Almost sad. "They are gone," she whispered. Her words cut deeper than the cold. He wanted to shout, to deny, but his heart knew the truth. His team was gone, the ship destroyed. No rescue would come. He was alone except for her. A deep rumble shook the cave. The beast outside had not left. It clawed at the mountain, hunting them. The girl raised her silver eyes to the roof, listening. Her voice was calm. "It will not stop," she said. "It wants me. And now, you." The soldier gripped his weapon tighter. "Why me? Why does it want us?" The girl stepped closer, her face inches from his. Her silver eyes reflected his own broken image. "Because you are not only human now," she whispered. "You touch the crystal. You carry its fire." The soldier's heart pounded. Her words made no sense. But the warmth in his chest told him she was not lying. The storm outside screamed, the beast roared, the cave trembled. The girl reached out, her fingers brushing his cheek. "You cannot leave," she said softly. "Your fate is here, with me." The soldier stumbled back. His mind screamed to run, but his body was heavy. The fire in the crystal still burned inside him. He felt it change him, making him stronger, but also binding him. Her silver eyes followed him. Not cruel, not kind, but unshakable, as if she had waited for centuries for this one night. The beast roared again, the ice cracked. Snow poured down the mountain. The girl whispered his name once more, and in that frozen cave, under the glow of fire and ice, the soldier realized the truth. He was not trapped by the storm. Not by the beast, he was trapped by her, the stranger with silver eyes. The cave breathed with light. Blue lines glowed across the walls like veins of frozen fire. The soldier stood in silence, his weapon lowered, his heart beating fast. The alien girl with silver eyes walked deeper into the cave, her steps soundless, her long white hair moving like smoke. He followed, though every part of him screamed to turn back. The walls told stories, carvings of strange warriors, some human, some alien, standing side by side. They fought monsters with burning eyes and claws of shadow. The soldier touched one of the carvings. His glove brushing the crystal lines, the images shifted, moving as if alive. The warriors raised their weapons, light exploded, the beast fell. He pulled his hand back, heart pounding. "This is not real," he whispered. The girl turned, her silver eyes glowing brighter in the blue light. "It is memory," she said. "My people carved it into the ice, so it will not be forgotten." Her words echoed in the hollow cave. The soldier felt the weight of centuries pressing down on him. The walls were not just art, they were history. A history that included humans, though he did not understand how. "Your people," he said slowly. "They fought with us." The girl nodded. "Yes, long ago, before the ice came, before the storm trapped us." Her voice was calm, but her eyes carried pain. "I am the last one," she whispered. "The last of my kind." Her words chilled him more than the storm ever could. The last survivor, alone in a world of endless snow. He looked at her again. Really looked. Her pale skin, her silver eyes, her strength against the storm, and behind all that, a loneliness so deep it could break a mountain. The soldier lowered his weapon. For the first time, he did not see a threat. He saw someone like him trapped, hunted alone, but before he could speak, the cave shook. A deep growl echoed from the frozen earth. The beast was still out there, waiting, listening. The girl walked to the far side of the chamber. She placed her hand on another wall of ice. It glowed, showing a different carving. This time, not warriors, but a circle of crystals, glowing red like the one she gave him. Each crystal bound to a figure, human and alien alike. The soldier felt the warmth in his chest burn stronger. The crystal she had given him pulsed with light. Answering the wall, he stepped back in fear. "What did you do to me?" he shouted. The girl's voice was soft. "I saved you," she said. "You would have died. The storm would have taken you, the beast would have eaten you." Her words cut, because they were true, but his fear did not fade. "You tied me to this place," he said bitterly. Her silver eyes did not move from his. "You tied yourself. When you touched the crystal, the cave shook again. Louder this time, snow fell from the ceiling. Cracks spread across the glowing walls. The beast's roar was closer, shaking the ground like thunder. The soldier raised his weapon, eyes scanning the shadows, but the girl shook her head. "Your bullets cannot stop it," she whispered. "It is older than your kind. Older than mine." Her words filled him with dread. "What does it want?" he asked. The girl looked at the crystal in his hand, glowing like fire. "It wants the fire, it wants what we carry." Her silver eyes grew hard, unblinking. "It killed my people for it, it will kill you too." The soldier's breath caught. So this was not just about survival. It was a war, one he had been dragged into without choice. The cave cracked again, ice breaking apart. A massive claw tore through the wall. Black and sharp, the soldier stumbled back, firing his weapon, bullets sparking off the ice. The beast roared, its voice like an avalanche. The girl raised her hands. The walls of the cave glowed brighter, symbols burning blue. The ground shook and shards of ice lifted into the air. Spinning like blades, the soldier froze in shock. She was not just a survivor. She carried power. Power tied to the crystals. Power the beast wanted. The beast's eye appeared through the crack. "Red and burning," the girl shouted in her strange language, and the ice shards flew like arrows. They struck the beast, making it roar in pain. The cave trembled. Snow and stone falling everywhere. The soldier fired again, but his bullets were nothing compared to her storm of ice. At last the beast pulled back, its roar fading into the distance. The cave fell silent except for the sound of falling snow. The girl collapsed to her knees, her silver eyes dim, her breath shaking. The soldier rushed forward, catching her before she fell. Her body was cold, but her skin burned with strange energy. "You cannot fight it alone," he said. She looked at him, weak but unbroken. "That is why you are here," she whispered. "Not by chance, not by mistake. Fate brought you." The soldier shook his head. His heart torn, he wanted to deny her words. But deep inside he knew the storm, the crystal, the beast, her silver eyes, it was no accident. And as the cave glowed with fading light, he realized one truth. He was no longer just a soldier lost in a frozen night. He was part of something older, something waiting in the ice. The ground split like broken glass, the ice groaned, and the cave walls shook as if the mountain itself was alive. The soldier held the alien girl in his arms, her body trembling with weakness, her silver eyes dim but unbroken. The beast outside roared again, its voice a thunder that made the air itself shiver. The mountain was no longer safe. He pulled her to her feet. "We need to move," he said. But she shook her head slowly. "No place is safe. Not while it hunts." Her words cut through the storm of fear. The soldier tightened his grip on his weapon. He wanted to run, but he knew running was useless. The monster was too big, too fast, too ancient. He had seen only its claw and its burning eye, and even that was enough to fill his blood with fire and ice. The cave shook again. Snow fell from the roof, crushing rocks around them. The girl pushed him aside just as a jagged shard of ice crashed down. Her strength was fading, but she still moved like a shadow. She placed her hand on the wall. The glowing carvings flickered weakly. Her voice broke in a whisper. "The beast is not only a hunter. It is a jailer," the soldier frowned, his heart beating fast. "What do you mean?" he asked. Her silver eyes turned to him, sharp even in her weakness. "It was buried in the ice for a reason, to keep the fire safe. To keep my people trapped." She paused, her breath shaking. "And now, it wants you too." The soldier's mind burned with questions. But there was no time. The ground cracked wide open, and a massive claw tore through the floor, black as stone, sharp as a blade. The beast was breaking into the cave. The girl pulled him back. Her voice urgent. "Run," she said. They rushed deeper into the tunnels. The air grew hotter, steam rising from cracks in the ground. The soldier's chest burned, the fire crystal inside him pulsing harder with every step. He felt it pulling him forward, guiding him, as if the cave itself wanted him to move. Behind them, the monster roared, smashing through walls of ice. Its breath echoed like fire and ash, even in the frozen dark. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber. The ceiling sparkled with frozen stars, glowing with strange light. At the center stood a black pool of water. Steaming in the cold air, the soldier froze. "This is impossible," he whispered. Water, warm water, in the heart of endless ice. The girl stepped forward, her silver eyes glowing faintly. "This is its prison," she said. "The monster is bound here. But the ice is breaking." The soldier's weapon felt useless in his hands. He could fight men, he could fight machines, but this was a nightmare born before his world even existed. The girl turned to him, her face pale, her voice steady. "You cannot kill it with bullets," she said. "You must use the fire." The crystal in his chest burned hotter. He gritted his teeth, his body trembling. "What fire?" he demanded. But her eyes told him the truth he feared. The fire was inside him now. The crystal had changed him. He was no longer just a man. He was part of something older, something dangerous. The ground shook, and from the black pool, the beast finally rose. It was enormous, its body made of ice and shadow, claws sharp as blades, eyes burning red. Its roar shattered the air, sending waves across the steaming water. The soldier raised his weapon and fired. Bullets sparked uselessly off its hide. The beast turned its burning eyes on him, and the soldier felt his body freeze in fear. The girl shouted, her voice echoing against the chamber walls. "Use the fire, or we both die." The crystal in his chest pulsed like a heartbeat. He felt heat spreading through his veins, burning, tearing him apart. His weapon fell from his hands. His fists glowed faintly red. The beast lunged, crashing forward, claws ripping into the ground. The soldier raised his hands without thinking, and a wave of fire erupted from his chest. The chamber exploded with light. Flames roared across the black pool. Striking the beast, it screamed, its shadow form burning, ice melting off its body. The soldier fell to his knees, pain ripping through him. The girl grabbed his shoulders, her silver eyes wide. "You see," she whispered. "You carry the same fire my people carried." The beast staggered but did not fall. It roared again, shaking off the flames, its massive body reforming from the shadows. The soldier gasped for breath, his body weak, his chest burning with fire and pain. "I can't do this," he said. The girl's voice grew fierce. "You can, you must, or this world will never let you leave." The beast raised its claw to strike. The soldier closed his eyes, the fire inside him answering the crystal. Heat burst through his blood, his arms glowing brighter. When the claw came down, he raised his fists again. A wall of fire erupted, slamming against the beast. The monster screamed, crashing back into the pool. Steam rising like smoke, silence fell for a moment, broken only by the sound of dripping water. The soldier collapsed, his chest heaving. The girl knelt beside him, touching his face with her cold hand. "You see now," she whispered. "You're not only human anymore." The soldier's eyes opened weakly, staring into her silver gaze. The truth sank deep into his heart. He was changing, and the monster below would not stop until it claimed them both. The chamber was silent. Steam rose from the black pool, drifting like ghosts. The soldier lay on the cold ground, his chest burning with the strange fire. His body weak, his breath sharp. The alien girl knelt beside him, Her pale hand pressed against his shoulder, her silver eyes glowing faint in the dim light. He tried to move, but his arms shook. The memory of fire exploding from his chest replayed again and again. It had saved them, it had hurt the beast, but it had also burned him inside. Like his own blood had turned into flames. The girl whispered softly, "You touched the fire, and it touched you back." Her words were quiet, but her eyes were unblinking. "You cannot go back. You are changed forever." The soldier closed his eyes, pain rising in his chest. "I didn't ask for this," he said weakly. "I only wanted to survive." The girl tilted her head, her voice soft but sharp. "Survival is not enough now. You must choose." Her words struck him like a blade. "Choose," he repeated, his voice rough. The girl pulled a crystal from her robe. Glowing red like the one he carried, she held it in her hand, its light reflecting in her silver eyes. "This is the fire, the bond of life," she whispered. "If you take it fully, it will join us, it will make us one, human and not human. Forever." The soldier's heart pounded. He stared at the crystal, its glow filling the chamber with warmth. It felt alive, like it was waiting for him, calling him. He shook his head. "No, I have a home. I have my people. I can't give that up." The girl's silver eyes softened with sadness. "Your people are gone," she said. Her voice cracked for the first time. "You are the last." Like me, the word stabbed into him deeper than the fire. He wanted to deny her, to shout that she was wrong. But his memory betrayed him. The ship broken, his friends gone. The silence on the radio, she was right, he was alone. The chamber trembled, the black pool rippled, a deep growl echoing from its depths. The beast was not gone, it was waiting, healing. The girl held the crystal tighter, her voice urgent. "If you take this, you will have strength enough to fight, enough to live." She paused, her silver eyes fixed on his. "But once you take it, you are no longer only human, you are mine. Forever." The soldier's chest burned hotter, the fire inside him pulsing like a heartbeat. He felt trapped, pulled between two worlds. One path, cling to what he was, fight until the storm or the beast ended him. The other, take the crystal, change forever, become something he did not understand. His hand trembled as he reached toward the crystal, then stopped. Fear filled his mind. Fear of losing himself, fear of never going home. Before he could answer, a new sound cut through the cave. A low hum, mechanical, alien. The soldier's eyes widened. He knew that sound, engines, ships, machines. Through the cracks of the cave roof, lights cut the storm. Dark ships descended from the frozen sky. The girl's silver eyes flashed with panic. "They are here," she whispered. The soldier raised his weapon, though his arms still shook. "Who?" he demanded. The girl's voice was filled with sorrow. "The ones who killed my people, the ones who hunt the fire. They come for me." The cave shook as the ships landed above. Shadows moved in the storm, figures in black armor with glowing weapons. The soldier's heart raced. He had faced men with guns before, but these were different. They moved like predators, their armor heavy, their faces hidden. They were not here for him. They were here for her. The girl stood tall, her silver eyes glowing brighter. "They will not stop. They want the fire. They will take it from me." "From you." The soldier tightened his grip on his weapon. He should run, he should hide. But instead he found himself stepping in front of her. His body shaking, but his voice steady. "They'll have to go through me first." The girl's gaze softened, her eyes shimmering like light on ice. She lifted the crystal once more, placing it gently in his hand. "You must decide now," she whispered. "Fight as a man and fall, or fight with me, and live forever." The soldier stared at the glowing fire crystal. The hum of enemy machines grew louder. Closer. The beast roared below, the storm screamed above. He was trapped between three deaths, the storm, the monster, and the invaders. And in the middle stood the girl with silver eyes, offering him one impossible choice. His chest burned hotter, the crystal in his hand pulsed. He felt his own heartbeat mix with its glow. He raised his eyes to hers, silver and fire, cold and heat, fate and fear. The choice was before him, and the frozen night waited for his answer. The frozen night burned with fire and metal. Above the cave, black ships tore through the storm, their engines roaring like thunder. Lights pierced the snow, sharp and merciless. Figures in dark armor dropped into the storm, weapons glowing red, their shadows stretching across the ice. The soldier's chest burned. the crystal pulsing like a second heart. In his hand, the new fire crystal glowed bright. Alive, the alien girl stood beside him, her silver eyes locked on the storm. "They will not stop," she whispered. "They will take me, they will take you, and the fire will die." The soldier gritted his teeth, lifting his weapon. His arms still shook, his body weak, but the fire inside kept him standing. "Then we make our stand," he said. Her silver eyes softened for a moment, then hardened like ice. "Together," she whispered. The cave roof cracked open as the enemy forced their way in. Shards of ice fell like knives. Sparks burst in the darkness. The first soldier in black armor landed on the frozen ground, his weapon humming with red light. He aimed at the alien girl, but before he could fire, the human soldier pulled the trigger. The shot echoed through the chamber. The armored figure fell. The others came fast. Shadows with glowing guns moving like predators. The girl raised her hands. The walls of the cave glowed blue. Spears of ice tore from the ground, striking the invaders. The chamber became a storm of fire and frost. Bullets and shards, screams and silence. The soldier fought like a man possessed. His weapon roared, his fists burned with red fire. Every time he struck, flames burst from his hands, melting armor, tearing shadows apart. But with each strike, the pain inside him grew. The fire wanted more, it wanted to consume him. The girl's voice cut through the chaos. "Hold on, control it, or it will take you." The beast roared from below, the ground shaking, the ice cracked, and the black pool boiled. The monster was coming back. Drawn by the fire and the blood, the soldier's eyes widened. "We can't fight both," he shouted. The girl's silver eyes glowed brighter. "We must, or we will not see another dawn." The chamber exploded in chaos. The invaders surrounded them. The beast rose from the pool. Its massive claws smashed into the ice, red eyes burning through the steam. The enemy fired at the monster, but their weapons only made it angrier. The beast swung its claw, crushing armored figures like insects. The soldier and the girl stood in the middle of storm, trapped between enemy and monster. The girl pressed the crystal in his hand tighter. "Choose now," she said, her voice sharp as a blade. "Man or fire, weak or strong, life or death." The soldier's chest burned until he screamed. His body shaking, the fire inside him erupted, flames bursting from his arms and chest. The enemies froze in shock as the human burned like a living star. He charged forward, fire tearing through armor. Melting weapons, the girl raised her hands. Ice spears flying beside his flames, together they moved as one. Storm and fire, light and shadow. The invaders fell one by one, their screams lost to the roar of the beast. The monster lunged, smashing the ground. The chamber splitting apart, the soldier turned, his fists glowing brighter than ever. He struck with all his strength, fire bursting out in a wave. The beast roared in pain, fire eating its shadow. But the soldier collapsed, his body shaking, smoke rising from his skin. The girl caught him, her silver eyes glowing with desperate light. "You cannot stop now," she whispered. "You must rise or we both die," the soldier gasped. His body weak, but when he looked into her eyes, he saw no fear, only fate, and he forced himself to stand. The fire and the crystal pulsed together. His body shook, but he raised his fists once more. The girl joined him, her hands glowing blue with frozen power. The beast roared, the invaders screamed. The chamber collapsed around them. Together, human and alien unleashed their storm. Fire and ice exploded as one. The chamber became a sun, burning white. The beast shrieked, its body tearing apart in the flames, its shadow scattering into the cracks of the earth. The last invaders screamed as ice pierced their armor and fire consumed their bodies. The mountain shook. Snow fell in waves. The storm itself seemed to bend. Then silence, the chamber lay in ruins. The black pool gone, only steam and broken ice remained. The soldier fell to his knees, his chest glowing faint, his body nearly broken. The girl knelt beside him, her hand on his heart, her silver eyes soft for the first time. "You chose," she whispered. "You chose me. You chose forever." The soldier looked into her eyes, his breath weak. He wanted to deny it, to say he had no choice. But deep inside, he knew the truth. He had chosen, not just to fight, not just to live, but to stand with her, even if it cost him everything. The frozen night was not over, but the last battle had begun, and only together could they survive it. The mountain was broken. The cave lay in ruins, steam rising from the shattered pool. The bodies of the invaders were buried under ice and fire. The beast was gone. Its roar faded into silence. Only the soldier and the alien girl remained. Standing in the heart of destruction, the soldier's chest glowed faint. The fire inside him burned weaker now, but it was still alive. He swayed, his knees giving way. The girl caught him, her cold hand steady against his heart. Her silver eyes glowed softly, filled with something new. Not only power, but sorrow and hope. "You are hurt," she whispered. The soldier tried to speak, but his voice cracked. "I can't." "Keep fighting." The girl shook her head. "No, the battle is over," she said. But the choice remains. Her hand opened, and in her palm lay the second crystal, still glowing red. It pulsed in time with the fire already inside him. The soldier stared at it, his mind torn. He wanted to throw it away, to escape, to run back to his world. But deep inside, he knew there was no way back. The storm outside was endless, the sky filled with darkness. His ship destroyed, his people gone. The only path forward was here. The girl leaned close, her silver eyes reflecting his broken image. "You carry the fire," she whispered. "But it is not complete, not yet. Not until you join with me." Her voice trembled for the first time. "If you take this crystal, our souls will bind. You will not be only human, you will be mine forever." The soldier's heart pounded. Forever, the word echoed in his mind like thunder. He thought of his past, his world, the faces of his friends now lost to the storm. He thought of the beast, the invaders, the fire inside his chest. And he thought of her, pale and strange, with silver eyes that had waited for him in the frozen night. His body shook not from cold but from fear of the choice. He whispered almost to himself, "If I do this, I lose myself." The girl's voice was quiet but firm. "No, if you do not, you lose everything." The cave trembled again, cracks spreading through the ice. The storm above howled louder. The world itself seemed to wait for his answer. The girl pressed the glowing crystal against his hand, her eyes never leaving his. "I waited for you," she said softly. "Through storms, through years. Through silence I waited because I knew one day you would come." The soldier's chest burned as the fire inside him pulsed stronger. His body wanted the crystal. His soul feared it. He closed his eyes, pain tearing through him. But when he opened them, he saw only her. The storm, the beast, the war, everything else fell away. All that remained was the girl with silver eyes. With a trembling hand, he closed his fingers around the crystal. Heat exploded through him, his body burning. His blood turning to fire, he screamed, falling to his knees. The glow spreading from his chest to his arms. To his eyes, the girl placed her hand on his heart, her silver eyes glowing brighter. Their lights merged, red and silver, fire and ice. The cave shook as if the world itself felt their bond. When the glow faded, the soldier gasped for breath. He looked at his hands, burning faintly with fire yet steady, no longer tearing him apart. The pain was gone, replaced by strange peace. The girl leaned close, her voice soft as snow. "You are mine now," she whispered. "Forever, mate." The words filled him with fear and comfort all at once. He was no longer only human. He belonged to her and she belonged to him, their souls tied by the fire, their fates bound to the frozen night. Outside, the storm began to break. The black clouds thinned, the wind softened. For the first time since his crash, light touched the sky, a pale dawn, weak but real, spread across the horizon. The soldier stared at it, his chest rising and falling. "I never thought I'd see the sun again," he whispered. The girl looked at the dawn, her silver eyes soft. "It rises because of you," she said. "You chose." And the night ends. They stepped out of the broken cave together. The snow crunched under their feet. The cold air sharp and alive. The world was still dangerous. The scars of battle deep, but the storm had broken. And with the storm gone, a new path opened. The soldier looked at her, his heart heavy but steady. "What happens now?" he asked. The girl tilted her head, her white hair flowing in the wind. "Now we build, now we fight, now we live," she said. Her voice grew quiet, almost tender. "And never again alone." The soldier nodded slowly, his fire crystal glowing faint in his chest. He had lost his old world, his old life, his old self, but in its place, he had found something new, a bond written in fire and ice. A mate not by choice of man, but by choice of fate. The dawn spread wider, turning the snow to silver and gold. The frozen night was ending, but his new life was only beginning.